So that if you find in yourself that triumphalistic attitude, that attitude of we are winning, we are losing, you pray against it, and then you remember that we are looking at the salvation of the souls of all men, of all peoples. So we do not want to go to heaven alone. We want to bring as many people as are willing to follow us to heaven. And for us to also know that heaven doesn't belong to us as our private property, that God can choose and does choose to invite whomever he wills, because God is absolutely sovereign, right? So we let other people in. We bring in everyone, as late Pope Francis would say, everyone. We bring everyone in. We extend the invitation of Christ to everyone, and we do not make things difficult for other people by going too far beyond what the church has taught, beyond what Christ has taught, so that we are not overdoing when it comes to observing rules and all of that. So I encourage everyone, every one of us struggling, to live a holy life. It is not easy to try and live a holy life. It's a very difficult journey. And sometimes it can be lonely to try and live a holy life. Sometimes not in a manner that maybe one is judging other people, but you discover that if you are really trying to go all out for Jesus, you're trying to go all out for him, sometimes you fall out with a lot of people around you, right? You fall out with many people around you. Or even if you don't fall out with them, but you don't quite go together, you don't quite agree with the people around you, even some who are trying to run the heavenly race as you are. You discover that there are a lot of differences, as we have seen here so many times with our Protestant brothers and sisters. You discover those differences, but what do? You still love and you still pray, right? You still love them and you still pray for them, and you ask them to pray for you and to love you as well, right? That is what it's all about. We love and we love, right? We love and we love, and we never stop loving. So any preaching or any dialogue or any apologetics that jeopardize the charity, I've been guilty of this too, so it's something I'm telling all of us. Any form of apologetics that go against charity is no longer of God. And it's a very thin line between an apologetics that is informed by charity and one that isn't informed by charity. It is a very thin line, because you're a human being, right? You're a human being, and it's very easy to overstep, especially if you are judging by the attitude of people who come in here, right? The attitude, it's rare for us to see people who disagree with us honorably, who disagree with us rationally, who disagree with us charitably. Most of the people that come up here are very rash, very rude, very annoying, right? And very vicious in their attacks, and usually full of lies. Some of the ones we have encountered, either they're ignorant or they're full of lies. People really making up stuff and know they are making up stuff, and they still argue with them. But no matter what excuse we might want to bring to defend our uncharitable response to them, none of them suffice to excuse us from refusing to treat people with charity. That's why Jesus says, love your neighbor and pray for those who persecute you. He says you would even love and pray for your enemies, right? So there is no excuse, and our Christian brothers and sisters are definitely not our enemies. So it's to show us that even if someone is our enemy, we still have to love and pray for them, right? So that is the thing. We have to always remember that, and I'm telling myself that too, because once we get into these arguments, and it can get so heated that we forget that we are doing these things right in the presence of God, right? And that we are going to give account for every word that we say and we write. So it's very good to remember that.